Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Modi inaugurates the statues of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, freedom fighters Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee and Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay in Lucknow. Bangladesh's interim government adamant to not include Awami League in the February elections. Former Prime Minister Khalida Zia's son Tariq Rahman returns to Dhaka after 17 years in exile. And India condemns demolition of deity statues in an area affected by the ongoing Thai-Cambodia border dispute, calls it disrespectful, urges both sides to return to dialogue and diplomacy. India marks 101st birth anniversary of Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee today. President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President C.P. Radhakrishnan and Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tributes to the former Prime Minister at his memorial Sadaiv Atal in New Delhi on Thursday. Prominent people from all walks of life also paid tribute to the former Prime Minister on his 101st birth anniversary today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated 3 bronze statues at the Rashtra Prerna Sthal in Lucknow, commemorating the 101st birth anniversary of former Prime Minister and Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The statues of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee and Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay honor their pivotal contributions to India's political thought, nation building and public service. The complex also houses a state-of-the-art lotus-shaped museum spread across around 98,000 square feet. The museum showcases India's national journey and the contributions of these visionary leaders through advanced digital and immersive technologies, offering visitors an engaging and educational experience. Mahamana Madan Mohan Malviya is regarded as one of the greatest social reformers for his contribution to the nation. The title Mahamana, meaning a great soul, was primarily given to him by Mahatma Gandhi. He was posthumously awarded India's highest civilian honour, the Bharat Ratna, in 2014.
Mahamana Madan Mohan Malviya was a pivotal figure in India's history, renowned for his significant contributions to education and the preservation of Indian culture and values. He was born in Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh on December 25, 1861. Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya founded the Banaras Hindu University or Kashi Hindu Vishwavidyalaya with the aim of promoting education and fostering the careers of the youth.
महामना जैसे व्यक्तित्व सदियों में एक बार जन्म लेते हैं और आने वाली कई सदियों तक हर पल हर समय उनसे प्रभावित होते हैं। भारत की कितनी ही पीढ़ियों पर महामना जी का ऋण है। वो शिक्षा और योग्यता में उस समय के बड़े से बड़े विद्वानों की बराबरी करते थे। वो आधुनिक सोच और सनातन संस्कारों के संगम थे।
Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya was one of the founders of Bharat Scouts and Guides. He founded the influential English newspaper, The Leader, from Prayagraj in 1919. He also served as the chairman of Hindustan Times from 1924 to 1946. As a result of his efforts, its Hindi edition, Hindustan Dainik, was launched in 1936. As a lawyer, he defended more than 170 freedom fighters arrested in connection with the Chauri Chaura incident in 1922 and succeeded in getting 155 of them acquitted, while for the rest, he managed to get their death sentences commuted to life imprisonment, thereby saving many lives. He gave up his legal practice in 1911 so that he could devote more time to the service of the nation. Mahatma Gandhi bestowed upon him the honorific title of Mahamana. The title Mahamana, meaning a great soul, was primarily given to him by Mahatma Gandhi in recognition of his unparalleled contributions to education, social reform, and the freedom struggle. Mahatma Gandhi also considered him like an elder brother and was deeply impressed by his work for the country. In 2014, President's office announced the Bharat Ratna award to him posthumously. A key figure in India's independence movement, he is remembered for his significant contributions as a scholar, educational reformer, and politician. Bureau Report, DD India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the Christmas morning service at the Cathedral Church of the Redemption in Delhi, along with a large congregation of Christians of Delhi and North India. The service included prayers, carols, hymns, and a special prayer for the Prime Minister. Over the last few years, Prime Minister Modi has been regularly attending programs that have connected with the Christian community. During Easter 2023, he attended an Easter program at the Sacred Heart Cathedral, New Delhi. During Christmas 2023, he hosted a program at his residence 7 Lok Kalyan Marg in New Delhi. In 2024, he attended a dinner at the residence of Minister George Kurian and also a program hosted by the CBCI. This shows his regular engagement with the Christian community.
On this holy and joyful festival of Christmas, we thank God for bringing us together in fellowship, hope, and thanksgiving. May the light of Christ, who came into the world to dispel darkness, guide our leaders, bless our church.
On Christmas Day, DD India's Siddharth Bhardwaj interacted with Bishop of Church of North India, Delhi, Diocese Right Reverend Dr. Paul Swaroop. During the interaction, the Bishop gave the message of peace and love that the festival of Christmas conveys and its importance given the present global scenario.
Sir, Merry Christmas to you first of all, and
to you as well.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi coming, and participating and attending the morning services. What message goes out, and what do you personally feel about it?
I think it is a message of peace more than anything else. I think he came really to pray, and that was what was communicated to us. There was no unnecessary, arrangements that were made. He quietly came, sat in the first pew, participated in the regular proceedings of the church. The normal prayer which we do on Christmas Day, that is exactly what we followed. And we had 2 carols in Hindi, and then he prayed on his own. Then I prayed for him, blessed him, and then he left. That was...
What other message this festival gives?
See, 2 key messages I think that are very, very important for our world today. The first is of peace. And peace in our world in terms, if you look at the number of wars that are going on internationally. And so Christ came to bring reconciliation, to bring peace. And not only peace in the world, but peace within ourselves. The second message, I would say, is love. The word says, God so loved the world that he gave his only son, Jesus, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life.
Thank you so much for talking to DD India. That was Bishop Paul Swaroop, who said that this festival gives a message of peace, and not just peace in the world, but peace within ourselves as well. And the second message which goes out through this festival is of love. With camera person Sunil Kumar, this is Siddharth Bhardwaj reporting for DD India in New Delhi.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi also virtually attended the closing ceremony of the Sansad Khel Mahotsav 2025. Young athletes from across the country who are participating in the Sansad Khel Mahotsav also joined the event. Prime Minister also interacted with some of the athletes. The athletes praised the Sansad Khel Mahotsav initiative and shared their experiences. Addressing the event, Prime Minister Narendra Modi applauded how that continuous efforts are being made to promote sports in the country. He added that the Khel Mahotsav has become a mass movement.
देश भर में 290 से अधिक सांसदों की इस कार्यक्रम का योजना करना, लाखों नौजवानों को जोड़ना और 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा युवा खिलाड़ियों द्वारा इसमें रजिस्ट्री करवाना देश के हर कोने की हिस्सेदारी है और शहरों से लेकर गांव तक हर पृष्ठभूमि के युवाओं की सहभागिता ये दिखाता है कि इसका स्केल कितना बड़ा है.
The Indian Coast Guard conducted its inaugural flight safety seminar along with the first annual flight safety meeting in New Delhi from 23rd to 24th December. The landmark event marked a significant milestone in the organization's ongoing commitment to aviation safety and operational excellence. The seminar featured expert lectures by eminent military and civil aviation specialists on aviation safety and issues. A key highlight was the unveiling of the first edition of the Indian Coast Guard Flight Safety Compendium by the Secretary, Ministry of Civil Aviation, reinforcing the organization's proactive approach to institutionalizing safety knowledge. Let's now take a look at other stories making news in India. Prakash Parv will be celebrated to mark the Jayanti of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, with gurudwaras across the country set to be illuminated and devotees offering prayers. At Patna Sahib Gurudwara, the 359th Prakash Parv will be observed from December 25th to 27th, with lakhs of devotees expected as authorities have put full arrangements and security measures in place. The 6th day of the Pagal Patu celebrations of the Vaikuntha Ekadashi festival was observed at the Sri Rangam Arulmigu Ranganatha Swami temple in Tiruchirappalli. Sri Namperumpal was taken in a, Sri Namperumal was taken in a ceremonial procession and special rituals and recitations were performed. There was limited attendance in line with government safety protocols. Fresh snowfall has transformed Gulmarg into a picturesque winter wonderland in India's north, bringing renewed optimism to Kashmir's tourism sector. For locals dependent on tourism, the snow spells hope after a challenging year, with hoteliers and workers expecting an uptick in visitors to the iconic ski destination. You're watching DD India Live, still to come on the show. Kremlin analyzes the documents on ending the ongoing conflict with Ukraine. Kremlin spokesperson calls Zelensky's address to the nation highly uncivilized. And in his first Christmas sermon, Pope Leo highlights the plight of the Palestinians, the homeless, calls for global peace.
Geopolitics and trade deals, economic challenges amid development, hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I am Tanvi Taneja. Bangladesh remains on edge following a spate of violent incidents amid the turmoil. Bangladesh Nationalist Party's acting leader Tariq Rahman, son of former Prime Minister Khalida Zia, has returned to Dhaka after 17 years in self-imposed exile. Tariq Rahman was accompanied by his wife Dr. Zubaida Rahman and daughter Zaima Rahman. Senior BNP leaders led by Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir received him at the airport's VIP lounge, where he was accorded a warm and emotional welcome. Following his arrival, extensive security measures were put in place with thousands of police and law enforcement personnel deployed across the airport, key routes and surrounding areas. Meanwhile, Khuda Bakhsh Chaudhary, Special Assistant to the Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus at the Ministry of Home Affairs, has resigned from his post in Bangladesh. His resignation was accepted by the President and took effect immediately, according to a Gazette notification issued on Wednesday night. A former Inspector General of Police, Khuda Bakhsh Chaudhary, was appointed to the position on November 10, 2024. Chaudhary's resignation comes amid growing criticism over the government's handling of law and order, including demands from citizen groups for accountability following the killing of activist Sharif Osman bin Hadi and the mob lynching of a Hindu youth, Deepu Chandra Das, in Mymensingh. Further, the interim government in Dhaka has reiterated that the Awami League will not be allowed to contest the February 12th national elections, citing the suspension of the party's activities and its deregistration. Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam said that the party's political activities continue to be banned and its registration has been suspended, ruling out its participation in the polls. He made the remarks while responding to questions about a letter reportedly sent by 5 US lawmakers to Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus, expressing concern over the exclusion of the party from the polls. Updates next on Thailand-Cambodia crisis. A Cambodian official accused Thailand of destroying a Hindu statue in a disputed border area after more than 2 weeks of military clashes between the neighbors. A government spokesperson said that the demolition of the Vishnu statue, built in 2014, took place on Monday, about 100 meters from the border with Thailand. Cambodia has repeatedly alleged that Thai forces have damaged the temple ruins along the border during the clashes. But Bangkok says that Phnom Penh was positioning soldiers at the centuries-old stone structures. Meanwhile, India condemned demolition of a statue of Hindu religious deity located in an area affected by the ongoing Thai-Cambodia border dispute. In response to media queries on the demolition of a statue of a Hindu deity, the spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs said, and I quote, "We have seen reports on the demolition of a statue of a Hindu religious deity built in recent times and located in an area affected by the ongoing Thai-Cambodia border dispute. Hindu and Buddhist deities are deeply revered and worshipped by people across the region and as part of our shared civilizational heritage. Notwithstanding territorial claims, such disrespectful acts hurt the sentiments of followers around the world and should not take place. We once again urge the two sides to return to dialogue and diplomacy to resume peace and avoid any further loss of lives and damage to property and heritage." Unquote. Kremlin is analyzing documents on ending its ongoing conflict with Ukraine, which were brought to Moscow by Special Envoy Kirill Dmitriev from the United States. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov also said on Thursday that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's Christmas address to the nation, where he said, quote, "May he perish," he being Vladimir Putin. Dmitry called this Christmas address of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as highly uncivilized and embittered.
Regarding the peace plan, we are analyzing that Dmitry conveyed to Putin. We are analyzing this material, and then, depending on the decision made by the head of state, we will continue our communication with the Americans. We saw the report about Zelensky's truly strange Christmas address yesterday. It was uncivilized and embittered. He seems like an inadequate person.
Некультурно, озлобленно.
Meanwhile, the Kremlin also said that Russia had made a proposal to France regarding Laurent Vinachier, a French researcher jailed for violating Russia's foreign agent laws, and the ball was now in Paris's court, said Kremlin. Vinachier was sentenced in 2024 to 3 years in jail for failing to comply with the laws requiring individuals deemed foreign agents to register and meet a number of stipulations. He is now facing additional espionage charges. France said that Vinachier was arbitrarily detained and has called for his release. President Emmanuel Macron has denied that Vinachier worked for the French state and has described his arrest as part of misinformation campaign by Moscow. Pope Leo XIV led the Christmas Mass at the Vatican on Thursday, delivering a sermon emphasizing faith, compassion, and a message of peace to mark the birth of Jesus Christ. Pope Leo, the first U.S. Pope, celebrated his first Christmas since being elected in May by the world's cardinals to succeed the late Pope Francis. During Thursday's service at St. Peter's Basilica, where devotees had gathered, he highlighted the struggles of the homeless worldwide, delivered a message of peace, addressing global conflicts, and bestowed his blessings on the faithfuls.
Pietà di noi, Signore.
Nel nome del Padre, del Figlio e dello Spirito Santo.
Tariffs were one of the biggest economic stories of 2025, and towards the end of the year, things aren't getting any easier. As of this week, China has levied tariffs on EU dairy products. Lars Solter is with Deutsche Welle and joins me on the story from Berlin now. Lars, hi, Merry Christmas to you. What's the latest on these tariffs?
Thanks for having me. Indeed, China has put tariffs of between 21.9% and as high as 42.7% on EU dairy products. That is quite a range, and it's at least partially tied to whether or not certain EU member countries and even the dairy farmers there have been cooperating in an investigation that China has conducted over the course of the last year. An investigation that for Beijing led to the conclusion that Brussels is unfairly supporting its dairy farmers, putting Chinese farmers at a disadvantage. So to rectify this, Beijing has levied now the lowest tariffs of just under 22% on Italian exporters. About a dozen French dairies pay around 30%. Some German companies just a tad less at 28.6%. And then the highest tariffs have been put on Belgian and Dutch exporters, over 42%, as I said.
Okay. What will it all mean for future trade between the EU and China?
Well, for now, we will likely see further tariffs. Brussels does say that China is playing an unfair game when it comes to subsidizing its companies. But since the Chinese economy has only become more powerful in recent years, they will likely not change their game plan there. Meanwhile, in the EU, economists worry that trade between China and the EU will become more and more of a one-way street, with China exporting massively to Europe while not importing that much anymore. Now, that has to do with a weaker consumer market on the one hand, with lower demand for goods in China, but more than anything, it has to do with China gaining a much more powerful position with regards to technology, especially future technologies. The country also has some tremendous advantages here, not least the availability of rare earths and other resources needed in chip making and such. So one thing is sure, the trade imbalance between the EU and China will grow rather than ease up, and the topic will certainly follow us into the new year as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Lars Holter there reporting from DW Berlin. Next updates from the Africa Cup of Nations 2025-26, well, the results of the Group F clashes are as follows. Amad Diallo's second half goal helped defending champions Ivory Coast secure a narrow 1-0 win over Mozambique in their opening clash. Ivory Coast squandered a number of opportunities to extend their lead but held firm in defence to begin their title defence with a win. Since their tournament debut in 1986, Mozambique have managed to secure only 4 draws with 12 losses. Meanwhile, Cameroon edged past Gabon 1-0 in their opening clash on Thursday. In the early moments of the game, Brian Mbeumo assisted Carl Etta Yong for the only goal of the game. Next, Group B teams, Angola will take on Zimbabwe, while South Africa will clash with Egypt on Friday. And the Delhi Metro on Thursday took passengers on a nostalgic ride back to where it all began. To mark the anniversary of the commencement of Delhi Metro services, the very first train to have ever run on the network, TS-01 was operated as a special service. The iconic train ran on the historic 8.3-kilometer stretch between Shahadra and Tis Hazare, the same section that witnessed Delhi Metro's inaugural passenger run on this day in 2002. Adding to the celebrations, the train was beautifully decorated with flowers and a commemorative banner, while passengers on board were welcomed with flowers, making this ride memorable and a joyous experience. That's all for this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And you can also download our DD India mobile app for quick news and updates on the go. We'll be back with more news as it breaks air on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.